Hello, creative souls. How are you today? Super happy to be here. My name is Leah Guzman. I'm a board certified art therapist and professional artist. And I am here today to teach you a technique of how to deal with stress. So I'm hoping a few people will join me live. If you have any questions that come up, whether you're joining me live or you're watching the replay, go ahead and ask. I would love to know what's going on with you and how you're dealing with stress. All right, we got some people. We got Malika here. I'm so happy you are joining me. You're welcome to say hello and where you're from. Yes, I'd love to know that. That would be awesome. So go ahead and grab your art supplies. You can grab your journal, you can grab some markers, pens, paints, whatever you would like. I like to keep mine in my journal. Hey Patty, I hope you're doing some art with us today. That's awesome. So I wanted to share something really, actually a few things that are just kind of fun. I was gonna share some art with you. But also, I was reading on my Instagram, I was flipping through, and today I was going through Gabby Bernstein, which I love reading her books. And she made a really cool comment that says every day that when she wakes up, she asks 3 questions to herself. And one of them is, how do I want to feel today? What do I want to give today? And what do I want to receive today? So I think that's just a really beautiful way to start your day. And I was actually asking myself that throughout the day today. It's like, how do I want to feel? I want to feel energized. I want to feel inspired. I want to feel passion, right? What do I want to give today? I'm going to be giving you some art, showing you some art, and then giving you the answers of what color resonates with you. What do I want to receive today? Lots of love and abundance, right? I'm opening myself, being receptive. So this is kind of fun. I actually posted these yesterday on my Instagram and my Facebook page. And it's so interesting because I love the chakras. I'm going to talk about the chakras today, about what color, and I love color psychology, of how colors really do resonate with where you're at and how they relate to the body and emotions, okay? So we're going to teach you as we go along through this art experience about how to deal with stress. Okay. So I'm going to show you these are like little minis. I'm actually doing large scale paintings of these, but I created these like mini ones just for fun for me to experiment. But as you look at them, just look at the ones that resonate with you. Hey Rachel, so happy you're here. And then let me know which one, and I can, probably not now, but I will tell you later about what the color meaning is, right? So we got the purple. Oh, that one's upside down. We got the blue. Got another blue, that one's upside down too. Green. And this one's interesting. I actually had a friend who recently lost her father, and this is the heart chakra, related to the heart, and she resonated with the green one. That's the one she picked. And a blocked heart chakra is caused by grief. So a lot of times people are responding to these, and then I find out what's going on in their life, and it's totally the same connection. So that's what's fun about art therapy and color psychology, is that there really is a relationship between whatever's going on. I think I'm wearing yellow today. I must be feeling my solar plexus. Got the orange, and lastly the red. Yeah, so when people were telling me about what resonates with them, I had Natasha, and she watches a lot of the videos on here. She was resonating with the red, feeling safe and secure. That means a balanced chakra, but it's also relating to money is the root, and she's wanting to feel more secure. So, you know, being able to balance that chakra would be wearing the color red, getting really grounded, going outside in nature, those type of things. So I wanted to share these with you just for fun, and let me know which color resonates with you if you haven't already, and I'll give you the answers. But it's also going to relate to our own art that we're going to do today, because, you know, I love talking about chakras and manifesting, and I just couldn't help but intertwine this art therapy session into that, because that's part of my process, and it makes so much sense to me because I've been doing this for like 15 years, and I see so many, I don't want to say synchronicities, but so many connections between the colors and between what's happening in someone's body, what's happening in my own body, and then what's related in the art, okay? So there's a lot of different ways to go about this, about doing the stress, right? About being able to relate stress to art. But I wanted to go ahead and start with, you can check this out in my blog post. This is the chakra theory of the color feelings that go with each of the chakras. So you're welcome to check out my blog post, and also the directions are going to be on here. And you can see how where each of the chakras resonate with a certain part of your body, right? So I'm just keeping this as reference, because when we dive into our own art, we're going to go back to look to see if there's any correlation between what you create. Okay, so this is what the root is, what I need, your basic needs: food, shelter, water, those type of things. I want is your desires. I am is who you are, your confidence, your purpose. I care is your heart and your compassion. I love the way you express yourself and creativity. I see what your intuition sees and what you visualize, your big dream. And then I merge, of co-creating with the universe. Okay, so this is a really good way so that you can see where the chakras lie. Okay, so I want to kind of give you that little background, because what we're going to do is look at our own body and see where we hold our stress. So our body is this container, right? This vessel of water and cells and all these things, but it's a container. It's an energy, and that's what chakras are. They're energy centers. They're moving. Our cells are moving. Everything is moving, right? So what happens when that stress, whatever the stress is for you, gets stuck, right? When it gets stuck in our body, what happens? What happens if we don't release it or process it correctly? It gets stuck in our cells, and it can lead to disease, or it can lead to feeling really uncomfortable. And it also affects our emotions, right? So in the blog post, I go through which each of the chakras are, but I also go from whether you have a balanced chakra, what that feels like, right? Those are good feelings, related to what it feels like if you're imbalanced, right? So it has like more of like a negative connotation, but how to release it. So just going back to the body, and if you don't process the emotion, I remember Eckhart Tolle, I was watching this interview with him, and he explained it about like the feeling of anger, right? And how we're like animals, but animals, like ducks, like say if they were to get into a fight, right after their fight, they will automatically shake off the energy. They will shake that off so that they can continue without their day, but not being able to hold the energy. Us as humans, really smart people, sometimes we don't do that. Sometimes we don't release that emotion, whatever it might be, as they call it, stress or anger or whatever that is for you, and then it gets stuck in our bodies, right? So how do we move it? So I'm just going to give you a technique today to use it with art, but there's just so many different ways, right, to be able to move that energy, right? So whether it was physical, whether it be through talking about it, processing it, but being able to use it in art. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and draw out our body so that we can make that connection of what the stress is and then where we hold it. So I'm going to get my little black marker here. And for those of you who are not too familiar with drawing a figure, I'm going to go ahead and give you the step-by-step, because we're moving away from stick figures here. So even if you don't do art, this is not about making a pretty picture, especially with art therapy. I love making beautiful images, but with art therapy, it's like ugly art, and it doesn't matter because it's more about releasing. It's more like a cathartic thing, and it's just for you. It's not to really share with anybody. So just moving on. So I'm going to draw my circle for my head, my little rectangle neck, or more of a square. My body, it's a rectangle, and then these long rectangles for legs. And if you're real artsy and you want to make it all cute, you are welcome to do that. I'm just doing it quickly here so you can kind of see where my body is, right? So just doing that and just knowing, you can relate it back to those chakra areas if you like, but just going and just really identify what it is, what is your stress, okay? Now this could be a physical ailment that you might have, that you might be experiencing. I have a few friends that watch these videos that I know that might be holding on to a lot of stress, might be like traumas from their childhood, which could lead to being really stuck in your cells and lead to things like fibromyalgia, or things that have been passed on from generation to generation, and you're dealing with something. So whatever that stress may be in your body, and if there's any kind of pain, I want you to identify where that is in your body, and then we're going to put that onto here. You can pick whatever color you like, and then just show where it is on your body. So I'm just going to give you a sample here. I'm going to go ahead and I like oil pastels, so I'm going to use my oil pastels, and I'm going to use red, and I'm going to show you, this is just a sample of my stress and where I hold it. Okay. Now, sometimes people might hold it in their head, sometimes people hold it in their chest, sometimes people hold it in their stomach, sometimes they hold it in their legs, all different places, right? So for me, I mean, honestly, I can add more to here, but I'm just doing this quickly. I hold mine in my body through eating, right? When I do my chakra test, so if any of you have done the chakra quiz, I always give that out for free, and you're welcome to get it in the about section of checking yourself, right? And it shows you where you're off. But I've always been off in my root chakra, and I've been learning how to balance the root chakra. So thank you, Rachel Brown, for being here, because balancing my root chakra has to do with like my basic needs of what I'm putting into my body. So I've been doing this detox with Arbonne, and I noticed, I'm learning through this whole thing, that the reason I've been so imbalanced with my root chakra is, one, I need to exercise more, but two is that I deal with stress through eating. So I'm like a stress eater. And so I hold my stress in my thighs, in my butt, in my stomach. So I'm holding that, right? And so this year, one of my things to the universe was like, I am releasing this. I'm releasing the stress, because I don't really feel stressed right now. I don't feel stressed the past few months, but I've been holding that stress. It's turned like sitting in my body, and I'm ready to release it, right? So that's why I've been doing this like detox, and it feels really, really good. But I wanted to just show you that I'm aware of it now, and where I hold it in my body, right? So from that, identifying it, ready to release it, I'm ready to give it some love, really focus that energy to make that shift. So from there, go ahead, and you can do this quickly or take some time, is, use line, shape, and color to really identify what the stress is and what it feels like for you. So again, I would think about what causes me stress, where I'm holding it in my body, and what that really like feels like for me, okay? Same for you, whatever that might be. And if you have questions during this, please let me know. So this is just something quickly, just putting it on here, just putting the expression, just releasing it of what it feels like. It feels heavy to me, right? It feels like something like it's weighing me down, it's pushing me down. So part of that of just expressing it, putting it out there, and I've been tackling this with the past few weeks with my whole detox, but just noticing my habits of when I do feel stressed, I do crave potato chips, or I want a glass of wine, right? So I'm just looking at my own habits of how I deal with stress. So once you do this part, the next step is giving it some love. Have some self-compassion for everything that you're doing, and self-compassion for whatever is maybe like causing you pain right now. You might not have control over it, but also looking at it is that it might be a lesson hidden in between, hidden underneath, that you could just be open to asking, what can I learn from this, right? So even looking at like my own stress and how I hold my stress in my body and how I've been carrying it, what lessons do I have to learn from it? And obviously I've been learning that, I deal with food, right? When I feel anxious, I tend to eat, right? When I feel that stress of not wanting to do something, I tend to eat. So just thinking of, even for yourself, of taking that little bit of time of what's in there that you can learn from your stress, and then being able to release it. Take some time to write about it and make those connections. Hey Janine, so happy you're here. So please let me know kind of what's been coming up for you. I'm kind of curious if any of you would like to share. I can bring you on camera of what your, maybe even if you see a relationship between your color that you chose and how it goes with maybe the chakras, right? So mine is my root, right? Going with my needs. Right? And I've actually been feeling really grounded lately, which is amazing because I've been addressing it and I've been drinking a lot of protein shakes and getting grounded. So just let me know. I don't see any comments. If someone could say hi, that would be awesome just to see. I'm gonna wave at Janine. I'm gonna wave at Rachel. Okay, so if any of you would like to come on here, that would be awesome. If you'd like to share your work, see if you've made any connections through maybe where you're holding it in your body and how it relates to your stress, or maybe even what lesson might have come through it. Okay, so the importance here is that you identify where it is in your body, how to release it, and the reason that you just want to go straight to the stress or the issue and really like look at it, visualize it, and then give it love is that you're going to the issue instead of like sugarcoating it. I know a lot of people, they love to go into their art, making like beautiful images and their art as therapy. Instead of art therapy, it's art as therapy. They can get lost in their art and do that, which is very healing as well. But art therapy and doing this kind of process of going straight to the root of what's causing your stress is actually healing it instead of almost like, I don't want to say sugarcoating it, but it's really making a cognitive connection of being able to release the energy. Okay, so that when it comes up again, you'll be able to know where it's coming from and then let it go. All right, and this is a really good tool to use, of just using line shape of color of whenever that stress comes up, in order to automatically just release it and then move on throughout your day. All right, so that's all I have for now. If you guys have any questions that come up, or if you would like to dive deeper into this process or practice, please let me know. I do offer online art therapy services, and I do have some painting classes related to the chakras. If you need something balanced in one particular, I do offer that online on my website. All right, have a beautiful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.